Hi, I'm Shad, and along with Stephanie, we welcome you to our YouTube channel, Living in Johnson City, Tennessee. I'll be solo today as Stephanie's on another assignment, but I've got an interesting video to share with you. After looking at all kinds of data, metrics, and gathering opinions of others, I put together a short list of the most popular neighborhoods in Johnson City. So sit back, relax, grab a sweet tea, and get ready to see some beautiful areas of our city. With over 100 neighborhoods to choose from, my task was to narrow our focus today to a select few areas that most people who live here know about, and neighborhoods we've spent a lot of time in showing and selling homes to our clients. This is a diverse list that includes older homes, new construction, areas of exceptional convenience, and many other factors you may want to consider if you choose to live here. Let's start the countdown with two of the most historic neighborhoods within all of Johnson City. First, an area of the city known locally as the Gump. No relation to Forest.
Well, thought I'd try out my sea legs.
Well, you ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dane. It's my boat.
This area is one of the most prestigious and historic neighborhoods within the city. What was once the Gump farm in the early 20th century eventually became the home to over 140 families, with the largest amount of growth occurring in the 1950s as the city's first planned residential subdivision. As of this recording in October of 2022, home values can vary from $400,000 to over $1 million. The second historic neighborhood on this list is the Tree Streets, consisting of street names such as Walnut, Maple, and Pine Street, hence the name. This historic area of the city is situated between the downtown area and the campus of East Tennessee State University. With well over 500 homes built in the early 20th century, there's a wide range of home styles and designs, from small ranch homes that can sell below $200,000 to much larger colonial-style homes that can fetch over $600,000. But the Tree Streets are notoriously famous for another reason. Back in the 1920s, during the peak of Prohibition, the most famous gangster of all was supposedly a common visitor to the city. His name? Al Capone. So as the story goes, he would visit Johnson City to check in on his bootlegging operations that spanned from Miami to Chicago. And he did so by staying at the historic Montrose Court Apartments, seen here, which today are 1- and 2-bedroom condominiums. And to the chagrin of those residents that lived in the area at the time, Johnson City was nicknamed Little Chicago. And today, for nostalgic reasons, the city still hosts the annual Little Chicago Music and Arts Festival. Now let's shift away from historic neighborhoods and highlight the next neighborhood on our list, the enchanting location known as Sherwood Forest. With street names like Friar Tuck Road, King Richard Boulevard, and Robin Hood Lane, this charming neighborhood boasts large wooded lots and is within walking distance of Johnson City's only high school, Science Hill. With over 80 homes built mostly in the 60s and 70s and average sales prices varying from $300,000 to $500,000, I never get tired of driving through this beautiful neighborhood. Now let's head to an area that literally defines the northeastern edge of the city, known locally as Boone Lake. Boone Lake is a 4,520-acre reservoir that supports impressive numbers of sport fish and a number of public boat ramps for all of your water-based recreation. Boone Lake is the most developed lake in our region and one of those neighborhoods that easily defines lake living, darts out on its own peninsula, is Lake Harbor Estates. This neighborhood boasts over 100 homes built from the 1990s to the present, with sales pricing varying from the mid-500,000s to well over $1 million. Some properties have lake frontage with private docks, but Lake Harbor also includes tennis courts, a pavilion, and a common boat dock. Moving on down this list, we take a slight twist. Rather than focus on one distinct subdivision, I wanted to point out an area that hosts a good half dozen of them due to their small stature. Bordered by Claude Simmons and Knob Creek roads, this area is known as the other side of the tunnel. Connecting this area to the city is a one-lane railroad tunnel that on one side you have the hustle and bustle of the city with convenience to shopping, medical, restaurants, etc. And on the other side, a picturesque setting amongst the rolling hills that make you feel like you're out in the countryside. Mostly situated on a ridge, some of the homes have southeastern views of the city and mountains. These luxury homes were built from the mid-1990s to the present day with home values varying from the mid-400,000s upwards to $2 million. One of these subdivisions, Strawberry Field, has been highlighted a few times in the other videos. Located on what used to be a strawberry farm, this subdivision is the largest of the 6 subdivisions highlighted here, with about 75 homes and with its own clubhouse, tennis courts, and a pool for a very low HOA of $50 a month. And I personally know this subdivision very well, as my sister and her family have lived here for 20 years. Hopping over this ridge a little further out into the countryside is one of the largest subdivisions within the city limits, one of the most well laid out amongst the rolling hills. Here we have Highland Ridge. Consisting of 8 distinct sections, this sprawling subdivision holds over 225 homes that have been built in the past 20 years, and with sales priced from $500,000 to $2 million. This subdivision boasts 2 clubhouses, 2 pools, and tennis courts, as well as over 3 miles of walking paths. And now we're going to wrap up this video by going a little over a mile away into the countryside from our last neighborhood with one of our newest developments. It also demonstrates some of the new construction growth we're experiencing here, Chestnut Cove. With the first homes being completed at the end of 2021, this subdivision will eventually be home to around 200 properties ranging from 400 to 800,000. Most of the new construction is occurring in small subdivisions out in the countryside, with easy access to Johnson City, Gray, Jonesboro, and Piney Flats. And the average sales prices of these new homes currently hover around $500,000. That's all I have today. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, hit the like button, subscribe, and follow our channel. Living in Johnson City, Tennessee. And as Stephanie always says, we hope to see you here real soon.